Okay, so today I'll be doing things in the background and I'll be talking about romantic relationships and why I've never been in one. I think I've already talked about this previously, but honestly, this video actually isn't about that. This video is about femininity. Personally, I do not feel feminine enough, and it's been like my whole life because I know that young girls are socialized a very specific way, but I feel like there's constantly this girl code that like I am never getting. Like there's this way to be a woman and just this way to act that like girls young learn at a really young age that I haven't learned. And obviously not having those kind of characteristics, I feel like it's been way harder for me to get into a relationship because like obviously dudes are gonna go for the like more feminine presenting woman and all that, and it's like that's reasonable, like for them to be attracted to that. But for some reason I was just like left behind in this. I was left out of that equation, and so for that reason, like I have always felt this inferiority, and not necessarily in front of other women, like, or compared to, but I just feel like there's just something that's innate to them and something that's instinctual almost that like I don't have and I'll never have. And just like conversation in general, like the right pauses to make in a conversation and the right tone, the right mood for reactions, and just like how to, like, when I can't completely model or like sort of mimic someone's not personality but like their way of conversating, like I feel like there's like this elephant in the room, and it's like, oh, like this is super awkward, like I don't know how to talk. And it's like I want to communicate with people and I feel like that drives it, but when I don't want to communicate with people, when I don't have like the energy, like I am just really awkward and just it's just not great. And it's like I don't want to be like that, but it's just like communication is like it's like an uncracked language. Like it's so hard for me to communicate in the right way. And obviously that comes to like that's relevant to men and the opposite sex, and it's like I don't know, I'm clueless. I'm at a loss for words with that. So I do want to say though that like I haven't really been interested in relationships for most of my life, I guess. Like I just never really saw it as I don't know, necessity. I feel like I spent a lot of my life interacting with other people, in trying to be a people pleaser, one, trying to not have people think I'm weird, and trying to make friends and have people like me and not have not the best opinions of me, which is still the case. But yeah, I'm trying to move out of that like people pleaser kind of mentality because I think it's probably one of the worst things. But what does this have to do with a relationship? Well, I'm just like not, I guess I'm not authentic with people because I want to be liked, and because I don't know how people are going to react to my unfiltered self. And often my true self, I guess, like just no pretending, no costume, is just, I don't know, like I feel like I'm not super social, like I'm not the fitting, like I'm not like antisocial, like a psychopath or anything like that, but I'm just not social in a conventional way, and so I guess that makes people just look at me weird. And I think I noticed that when I was a kid, so I was like, okay, well, when you speak in front of people you don't know, you got to do this. And so like most people, when they meet me, well, when I was younger, they were like, yeah, I thought you were really mean and cold. And I was like, oh, I was like, I was coping. I was just taking pride in like being that way because like nobody would see me as anything different. And yeah, so I don't know if like I even want children. It really depends on like the stipulations, because like if I'm not with the right person, if I don't have enough like money, if I'm in a certain part of my career, which like I doubt, but I'm not trying to jinx that. So um but it depends, because you know life is like not a fairy tale. People don't end up with the people they want. um Not everybody has enough money, not everything is stable enough. Like it's just, there's just a lot of things up in the air. Like nobody's gonna make life convenient for you. And for me, I feel like having friends is one of the biggest parts of like my just self-esteem, because my self-esteem isn't great. But just like knowing that I can have friends that they can like me is really validating. And I think that's been one of the few things to validate me like most of my life, because you know, if you're disliked for a long time, you kind of just believe there's a reason. And it's not like, not even that I was disliked, but it's just like there were other people that were like better, like especially the more like feminine girls. And you know, they're always like shorter and skinny, petite, things like that. And so that really feeds into a lot of my insecurities today. And I don't know, I feel like there's this feminine code, that this gene that I don't have, and there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm just trying to take pride in what I can do and what I can develop. But it's still hard, because you know, you might go on social media and see a group of obviously very feminine and pretty girls, and they might have their own insecurities and their own problems and all that. But it's just like they probably don't feel like they aren't a woman, you know? Because I feel like when it comes to being a woman, I guess in the media, it's like everyone can relate to this. It's either parents related or relationship related. And I don't have great like self-esteem about my parents. Like I'm getting comfortable with my face, which is why I don't want to like be wearing makeup. I don't even know how to do it though, just because like, again, like, you know, it's like, oh, you don't know how to do makeup and you're, how old are you yet? Like, you know, it's just like kind of a shameful thing if you aren't taking care of yourself as a woman in that way. And again, even like hygiene related stuff is always, for women, is like appearance centric. Like if you're not feminine, if you're not doing this, and it's a lot. Beauty is work. Like I guess maintenance, you know, it's just like an expectation. And yeah, so I'm not trying to play catch up like I was, but basically in life, like I don't even know if I'm passionate about anything. I feel like I fundamentally do not change my habits. Like the core of my person might vary and change and stuff, but it's like it's just basically the same preset of me going through different spaces and settings. Like maybe I have a job and I'm working a 9 to 5, or I'm renting a house and I've moved out. It's just like how I not mitigate, but I guess how I adjust myself to those habits and how they adjust to me. And honestly, I guess I know a lot of people want to be like a nepo there, but I don't want to be a nepo baby, because nepos, they don't have anything to live for. And yeah, okay, I know that sounds bad, but for me, like, just because my parents are immigrants, like my main motivation for making money and wanting to be financially stable is just so that they don't have to worry, they're secure. And like that, and like I just want to have the leisure, you know, the money and the time to spend time with people that I like. I have friends, like not everybody has friends like that. Like I feel like I'm so extremely lucky for having people around me who genuinely understand me so incredibly deeply, people that I can be my complete self around, people that have like molded me because of how much time and energy we've spent together. And that is something I want to keep forever. There is nothing more permanent to me than that. And like my friends are a big part of my self-esteem, because again, like I wasn't liked as a kid, and like I don't I didn't have like romantic experiences, so like I don't know like how like validated I am, I guess, if that makes sense. And everybody can talk about, oh well, self-love is first. Like, I think I'm self-loved enough to be in a relationship. I'm gonna be honest, I think I've been that way for like maybe a year or two. But yeah, it's like I love my cat, for example. I cannot replace the companionship between me and my cat with a dog, with a new dog. Like, it's just not the same. No form of like companionship, especially like romantic love, is very definitive. Like, you cannot substitute it for anything. You just need, I guess, that form in its purest form. Like, maybe women who've been in relationships aren't experiencing that sort of love. They might be in the same boat as me, but like I don't want a fling or anything casual or any. I literally just want to be in love with someone. Like, that is probably one of my life's. Like, I want to experience romantic love, like genuine, like reciprocated. Just in my life, purest form, genuine, couple of years. Even if like I don't stay with them, which I don't have hope for, which is unfortunate. But it's like, that's life. Like, everybody has dreams, you know, but like not all dreams succeed, not all dreams make it to the stars. And it's not a bad thing, it's not evil, but we take what we can get. And even this mentality like depresses me, I'm not gonna lie, but it's like I am grateful, you know. And I think if a lot of people looked into their lives, then they would be grateful for some things too, and they would also see things that they lack. And I guess, you know, like I have people who really understand me. Like, I have genuine friends, not come and go like seasons. Like, I don't want that. I want something permanent, you know. Like, I don't want to lose anything, right? And so I feel like, I don't know, because I understand like attraction's a big part of it, and I don't have like the traditionally feminine characteristics. Like, I don't, and I never will. So I don't know. I just like, I don't know. I would be nervous about doing things like dates and all of that, but I'm not gonna be nervous. I'm just gonna be who I am, because if I'm not, then I'm just gonna have to keep lying. It's like people pleasing, you know, all over again. And when you're people pleasing, you're like trampling your ego and your dignity, because some subconscious part is like, you are not good enough to prioritize yourself. That is what you're telling yourself in your brain, like subconsciously. And that's even more damaging than just saying it out loud, because you're acting on it. Weird tangent. Anyway, this thing is for like putting on eyeliner. I have this because I'm not really good with, like, I'm not good with makeup, but yeah, this is a cool tool. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess for me, love may or may not come. I think I'll have it once in my life. But I'm not like, and by like, I'm not willing to settle, and by that I don't mean like I want the perfect dude. Like, my standards are pretty lax. Like, I have a big range of attraction. This is kind of off topic, but like, I don't even know, but yeah, like, I don't want like a dude who's like a 10 out of 10, like 6 foot giant. Like, I don't mind someone in similar attractiveness to me. Actually, honestly, I prefer someone really similar to me. Honestly, that sounds kind of bad, but yeah, so I guess that is it. And will I make another video about this? No, I will make another video about just my insecurities. I think I've restated some things that are already in other videos, so you probably don't even want to hear that again. Peace. I mean, this in the evening. Have a good night, morning, or day. At least try to.